All right, the 8x8. So I've had a few other requests for a walkthrough for this build here. So I'll give it to you one more time now that it's a little more complete. So the Exo cage, I just got back from Squatchworks. Nick hooked me up with this badass Exo cage. It is hinged in the front and it just screws into the chassis rails in the rear. So I can pull 2 screws and hinge it forward to get to my batteries. The body is the Tamiya Dynahead 6x6 body. They make 3 versions of the 6x6, the Kong head, the Dynahead, and some type of a school bus looking thing. The rails here are 8x8 rails from 149 Works that I got through Fish's Crawler Parts. They are based on the Rockworks chassis. Fish took the file and added an extra front and an extra rear axle on them. I'm running Capra axles. These are 4 front Capra axles, so they all steer. I can crab walk, 8-wheel steer, whatever I want to do. I've got just cheap Amazon servos on there for now. I've got 2 2S battery packs running series for 4S power. Going into custom dual suppressor ESC that I make. I got a Castle BEC in there and a 7-channel RadioLink receiver. I got 2 380 Holmes revolvers in there and a custom-made transmission. It is AX10 gears from Deluxe Fab. They're all 48 pitch gears, and it's actually 2 transmissions in one. There's 2 gear sets in there that do not mesh against each other. So the motors work independently, with one motor here being the rear and the other motor here being the front. Transmission actually has 8 outputs because each shaft goes all the way through, but I'm only using 2 to the front and 2 to the rear that you can see. I've got carrier bearing in the rear there, and I got one integrated into the battery tray up front right here. My whole plan with this all along was to not use pass-through axles. I wanted to be able to use whatever axles I had on hand, and I run Capras in the majority of my rigs, so I had a bunch of the Capra axles and parts around. The gears here, like I said, 48 pitch, are set for just using a 12-tooth pinion. I didn't slot the motor plate at all. Just because I worked out my gear ratios, what I wanted to do, and I knew there was a lot of flexibility up or down just through different axle ratios, over, under, portal gears, whatever. The rear section here, I've got another plate that I can put on here that bridges between the 3rd and 4th shock towers that's got a hitch point. The whole purpose of this build was to build something that I can just trail with and pull my wagon when I'm at a comp site. I can unload my car, fill my wagon. I can use this to pull my gear back and forth to our comp location. The radio I'm using is the RadioLink RC6 GS V3. Channel 1 is steering my front end. I've got the aux channel right here. I have my middle finger here, toggles mixing for 8-wheel steer. I've got channel 2 running my front motor. You can see that spinning there. And I can mix with my left thumb here to dig and just get front motor or rear. I can also use the radio to control mixing percentages to vary the overdrive. I normally don't do that. I've got the axles have overdrive gears in them. Right now I'm currently running 25% overdrive in the front portals. Axles 2 and 3 are stock ratio, and I've got 10% underdrive in the rear diff. So 35% total. And like I said, I can vary that from the remote. I'll probably go down to, I'll probably change out a couple gears, make them all stock ratio, or at least make them all the same ratio so I can vary overdrive through the radio. Links are all titanium links from Deluxe Fab. The gears, like I said, the shocks, the axle internals. Tires are from a G-Made R1. They're called Don't remember what they're called. Bighorns. G-Made Bighorns. They're about 5.3 inches tall. Just got hair donuts in them. And tires are vented, of course. Couple of vents that we got locally here have water in them, and I wanted to make sure that this thing sank to the bottom of the stream or to the puddle, whatever, and would drive along the bottom, and then the tires would evacuate the water as quickly as possible. I believe it's geared to run about 7 miles per hour on the top end in this configuration. I've got a different Y adapter I can put in place here and just run 2S if I want. The ESCs prefer 3 and 4S, but it'll do it. So it'll just keep up with the walking pace then, and then the batteries will last about twice as long. I kind of like it the way it is. I've got a few twin packs like this. These are 4,000 milliamp hour. I got some 5,200 milliamp hours. A pair of those will last me 90 minutes or more. Right now the rig weighs in, I thought it was a little bit heavier, but it just came back with the new steel rails and the EXO cage. It came in at right about 11 pounds. So that's about it. If you got any other questions or anything, shoot me a message, let me know. I'll try and answer them for you. Thanks.